Go on and hand me the mic, and I'll strike wherever I like. I fight like a great pike, and bite like a great white. Shark teeth, Tyrannosaurus with shark teeth. Scabbard for my sword, but my dagger has no sheath. Better that I leave it in hand, so that you understand. Doom is the plan, while I savage the land. I'm a vortex of imminent death. I suck the lungs from your chest, the soul-sucking demon, I devour the best. I'm an up-and-comer and I'm new to the game. You know I hunger for a share of the plunder and just a little fame. Thinking that I'm gonna knuckle under, leave you dead and shamed. Only thing that's worse than the thunder is the acid rain, and the sound of chains, and the battle maimed. Give him a quick death and feed him to the flames, coursing through my heart and my veins with such a great pain. I can only quench it with the blood of the slain. Middle fingers in the air, motherfuckers, I don't care. Motherfuckers, if you care, motherfuckers, I don't give a...
We're here in Psychotic Psych Studio, and I'm here with J-MoRR. We're about to do the release of Chapter and Verse, album that he's been working all year on. That he said, what'd you say? Something about Batman or something?
Yeah, I was too busy being Batman to release it this year.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. J-MoRR started to work with us when he did Puppet Master for Magic's album.
That was the first chance I got to sing with you guys.
Yeah, at that time you weren't part of the rig. You were just kind of helping Mike out with that.
Well, he wrote it. He wrote the whole thing. He approached me at work one day. He's like, "Hey man, you really sing. I want you to get on this track with me." Came over, laid it down.
Yeah, that song was on Mind of a Madman. That's J-MoRR's first project he did with us. J-MoRR is not from Sandusky. Where are you from?
I'm from the 614, Columbus in the house. Reppin' Ohio.
And then the second time he worked with Rig Records, he did Cypher 4 with us. And that was last year. When we do that? That was about like June, around in there, I think it was. Somewhere around there. I think it was around June, July.
That was super cool for me because like the first time I got to actually write a rap verse. I actually got to go out, shoot a video with you guys.
Right, yeah, that was a lot of fun. We did it with the Sear Point in the background. I'm sure we're going to have a link to that video too. And then you joined Rig Records and you started on Chapter and Verse, which that's what we're here to talk about. The whole album was done in, what, about 7 months or so, right?
Just about.
Around in there. I know you worked hard on it. You can tell by, you know, what you did in the album and whatnot. So let's start with the intro.
Contented with the world around him, we're fated to a wondrous end of happily ever after. But though the apparent hero stands ready to ensnare our minds in fascinating adventures and dark mysteries,
you know, the first track sounds almost like a Bible verse. I don't know if you were like talking about your life or, you know, kind of setting up the record. What's your thoughts on it?
I was having a really hard time coming up with something that wasn't music to put on my CD, some kind of intro that I could put on it, get you ready for the rest of it. And with the title, Chapter and Verse, I really just wanted to make it sort of a story, get you ready to listen to the stories that I have to tell. And my personal pet peeve is I'm so tired, sick and tired of cliches where the main character is some happy-go-lucky dude sitting in the shade of a tree knowing that the rest of his life is going to be a grand adventure. And I just kind of wanted to take that and twist a little bit. And,
right. That was a really different intro, you know. And this album, most people know, is not like the rap you hear nowadays on the radio that people think is hip-hop. You know, this album is real hip-hop. He's got stories to tell. He's not just talking about guns, drugs, and, you know, the usual bullshit that they usually talk about. And, you know, he's definitely got stories. Each song has a meaning to it, and that's the reason we're going to do this little intro, you know, little interview. So we're going to go on to the second track is A Day in the Life.
Already dead, and it's true when it said that the next generation will be fucked in the head, zombified, never ever truly alive, just a part of the hive. It doesn't matter if we live or die, telling lies just to pass the time.
And this song don't even have a hook to it. It was just kind of like a 4-minute spit. What's your thoughts on it?
I was kind of going back to when I wrote the Cypher verse. You know, it was kind of like my second chance at writing my first rap verse, and I didn't want to just come out, try to write a hook. I was still trying to figure out what I was doing with it. I just sat down and started writing, and all of a sudden I'm rapping it to myself in my house and the beat stops. And I'm like, well, I guess I got a song then.
Because just so people know, this is his first time in the music, you know. I don't know if he did anything besides this album, outside of this album.
Karaoke at work. I mean,
well, this is basically his first time, so he actually had to learn, you know, how to write hooks. And I remember many times during working on this album, he's just like, man, I hate writing hooks. And you know, Magic loves them. You should have Magic do them. Wink, wink. You know, he loves hooks. So, but yeah, anything else you want to touch about on Day in the Life?
The whole concept for Day in the Life was really, I wake up in the morning, I look around and just, what do I see in life? What's going on around me? And how much of that is really going on every single day that we don't pay attention to. So that was really the whole inspiration behind Day in the Life.
Nice. I like it, man. I like it. We're going to move on to the third track, which is your personal favorite, I'm sure. It was Ohio. It's a song that me and J-MoRR did together, which is a true collaboration because we actually wrote this together. It wasn't like, oh, I got the hook, oh, I got a verse. It was, we actually sat down and wrote this together. So it was kind of fun. We just wanted to pretty much talk about where we were from, you know. And we made a music video that was done by my brother, Psychotic Psych. And then there was also a fucking hilarious blooper reel video to that song also, which is great.
Oh, I had a blast doing that. I came over, we just started doing some work on some of my other songs, and Vice sat down. I was like, let's go look for some beats, and found a beat, and started writing, just right there, right then.
Bam, and Ohio was born, man.
I would like it noted that I probably fucked that verse up at least 160 times trying to record it.
That's being modest.
Yeah, it was bad. There's a YouTube video of me fucking that verse up.
So you definitely got to check out that video because it is quite hilarious. I'm gonna let him get his deal going, and we'll move on.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs; they're all bad. And how ironic that the next song is called "The Cloud."
Roll it up, put your hands up. Light it up, take a puff, put your hands up. Getting loud in the cloud, put your hands up. Don't be stuck up, just get fucked up. You'll catch me laughing and buzzing and probably cussing, but I'm having a blast, so don't be judging while I'm pumping.
Yeah.
And The Cloud was done with my partner in 419 Magic. I don't know if did you write this song and have Magic jump on, or did you guys kind of like brainstorm it together like we did Ohio?
It's actually something that me and my roommate had been kicking around for a while. Like, me and my roommate like to sit in the house, chilling, listening to music. Every once in a while, we'll try to write together before I started writing music. And I had the idea going, and I like smoking weed and had to do a song about it. So put that song together. Took me forever to write a hook. And just had Magic get on the last verse because he's a kindred spirit.
Right. Yeah, so Mike's verse was quite hilarious on that. Definitely. I really enjoyed it.
I think my favorite part of his verse is he talks about typing up a text message and not sending it, because I've done that too many times.
Talking about being a broke-ass Jimi Hendrix. I thought that was hilarious. The hook was interesting because I've heard a lot of people do tracks about weed, about smoking, but I've never heard a track that was like so up. Like, you can actually go to a club and just, you know, you can rock this and actually make it sound like a club hit.
Right.
You know,
I wanted to make something, you know, because a lot of people smoke weed. We're family. We like to hang out, chill, have a good time. That's really what the hook was about. Roll it up, light it up, throw your hands up, man.
Right. I mean, we're gonna move on to number 5, which is Benedict.
Put it down with the 419 sound. Everybody bound is family, they honor bound. Carnivores not afraid of beef. We'll meet you in the street, knocking sense into your head and play the teeth. You sold your own crew, that make you real cheap.
Benedict was an early track.
Yeah, it was,
you know, for the album. But I think it was actually the second, maybe the third. It's somewhere around in there.
Yeah,
but
it was
either
the third or fourth, I think.
Yeah, it's a really cool song, man. But what was your thoughts on Benedict?
I don't know. I was kind of feeling like when I was writing the album that I just wasn't putting enough oomph to it. And like, what can I do to make this a little bit more powerful? I'm like, I'm going to talk about bitches and snitches.
Right.
What happens to bitches and snitches.
Right.
Yeah.
We kind of break down the hook because a lot of people might not understand the hook when they first hear it.
The hook goes, float across the river Styx, no more tricks, no more tricks. And then come and take your soul, little snitch, little bitch. River Styx, if you don't know, is a river in hell full of souls.
There you go.
one of my favorite parts of that song, particularly, is the beginning of the second verse, where I talk about I'm putting it down with the 419 sound, because I haven't lived up here that long, and I've gotten involved with 419, Rig Records, which is all in the 419, so I thought that was cool.
It is interesting, because you were actually able to get into, well, Mike and I like to call it a Sandtown sound. It's something different, you know, but right, it definitely fits in, which was fucking sweet, you know. But let's move on to the next song, number 6, ID Gaff. I don't give a fuck.
I really don't.
Said I don't give a fuck, no. I'm always high as a kite, to my delight I'm taking flight. Guess my theory got it right, freeing me from endless night, and the plight and the fright that was plaguing my sleep, sucking, pulling my feet, too fast, too deep.
That's because at one point in the studio I was like, man, you need to write a track that you're going to be able to, you know, be a club banger, that you're going to be able to do at the club, you know, because at this point we had a couple songs we haven't talked about. We had like Stargazing, we had Day in the Life, we had a couple other tracks, and I was like, we need something that we're going to do live, and people are going to be like, that's my shit right there. Something's really going to stick in your head. And you came back in the studio about a week later, like, let's drop this, and it was I Don't Give a Fuck, and I was like, dude, that's what I'm talking about.
I really didn't have a whole lot that I could play live and you could really jam out to. It was meaningful, and I think they're really great songs, but nothing that you get in the club and dance to, go home, listen to, memorize, spit at your friends. But I went home, and if you listen to the song, the intro really explains the whole song, why I wrote it. Because I'll tell you why you looking so serious. It's time to have some fun. And that's what I did. I went home, got my pen out, and just started having fun with some silly-ass rhymes.
Yeah, it wasn't only silly-ass rhymes. These verses in this track were nothing that an average person are going to sit down and just be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, every verse in this song was fucking killer in my opinion. I just thought they were great verses, and the hook was really catchy, you know, because it's definitely going to be one of them that people are going to remember. There's definitely no doubt. Any other views you want to point out on I Don't Give a Fuck? Or you just don't give a fuck?
I just don't give a fuck.
Do you have a specific writing pen?
I do not. I've been actually thinking about getting one. I've had this thought recently, but I do not have a writing pen.
I don't know if they.
Artists have an actual pen.
I don't know if they heard the question, but Psych was just saying, ask him if he had a specific pen that he uses. You know, because a lot of artists, like you said, only use a certain pen, only use a certain notebook. You know, just like Magic is very particular on what he uses. Like, he has these notebooks he's had for fucking years, and if you ever seen Magic write, he writes so fucking small that you need a magnifying glass to be able to see it, which is amazing to me. It is true. It's definitely true. Anyways, let's move on.
He writes like a girl.
Moving on. One of my favorites. Personally, my favorite on the album was Dream Eater, which is the next song we're going to talk about.
Lost without a map, no going back. I cough and hack, smoke on the path, poison gas. Death is a luxury, so give me the axe. Carve my name on a plaque, cut out my heart and watch it fade to black. God bless the dreams of the children. This life is likely to kill them.
Dream Eater, in my opinion, was my favorite song on the album, hands down. I love the
Stargazing?
song. Huh?
Even more than Stargazing?
I don't know. We haven't got to that point yet. Okay, I got a couple stories about Stargazing too, which are fucking hilarious if people are gonna just laugh their ass off because, you know. Anyways, Dream Eater. I mean, this is a cool ass fucking song. And what was your motivation on the writing of this song? I want to hear from. I have my own perspective, and everybody, even Jason asked, you know, what he thought about it. I want to hear what your thoughts are on the track.
Dream Eater is kind of my Life Sucks by Helmet song for myself. Talks a little bit about how I felt in my life growing up, how I feel in my life now, how I feel about the world, and kind of grab myself by the nutsack, pull me up, be like, hey, this all sucks, but I can do what I want to, and I can make my life good.
Dream Eater sounds like you have a lot of resentment towards religion.
I do have a touch. I do have a touch.
It just seems that way in a lot of things that you say, and it almost, you know, I don't know if this is a touchy subject or not, but it almost feels like you're saying that basically religion was shoved down your throat that you didn't it was almost that's what the vibe I got out of the track.
Yeah, that's a lot of how I was feeling, like growing up, and even now still. Like I had that. I grew up in a very Christian home. I went to a Christian school. I went to church every Sunday and Wednesday, and I just had enough. And that's where a lot of the religious tones come in the song. And I feel like it kind of kills your dreams. Like they tell you who to be, what to do. And
well, if you listen to the hook, you say, God bless the dreams of the children. This life will likely kill them. What do you mean by that?
Just that, man. Like I think it really kills the dreams of the kids and the people, the adults in it. That they got to be this, be that, be this. When you need to dream. You need to dare to be better than yourself.
I like that. At the end, you say, "Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?" You just almost feel like it's like you're screaming for help, but nobody is listening to you. Is that? That's the way you're getting from the track?
That's exactly where I was going with that. Is for a long time while I was still in that situation, I was trying to get out, trying to find something else, and it just felt like I'm screaming into a void.
See, this kid's is how you write music. It's got to have a meaning, and you're gonna love Dream Eater just because it's just not a pointless song, that is all over the radio and all over social media and like just pointless bullshit. Like you're gonna love this album if you want to hear, if there's something you want to hear, if you want to hear stories or anything like that. The J-MoRR album is definitely gonna be for you. One of our good buddies, Matt-O-Matic, you guys did a song called "Writing a Song."
Could've beens and should've beens, shackled and chained by the hooded men and godly women I offend. I'm just speaking my mind, my will never bend. Fuck a fat lady, I say when we at the end. Is what it is what it isn't. Black is only black because there's no light in it. White is only white because the darkness can't.
Matt-O-Matic did a track with you, writing a song. He came through to the studio and just murdered it. I thought he did an excellent job. I love the song. What's your thoughts on it?
I wrote writing a song. I was thinking, why am I writing? Why am I doing this? Well, I know why I'm doing this, so I'm going to tell everybody. I like to write, I like to express myself, and I like to change minds, and that's what the song was about to me. And Matto came hard as fuck on that, like, talking about exercising the demons within. That was just fit.
Yeah, he nailed it. He nailed it. Definitely did a really good job. More than I expected. He just came in the studio like, it was funny, I'm the only one that knows this because it's only me and him in the studio. But he came over and he was like, yeah, I haven't really had time to rehearse it. You know what I mean? He's like, so I'm going to do the best I can. And I was like, dude, just, knock it out, man. And that's exactly what he did. And I was just like, I thought you needed to, rehearse it. He was like, oh, I thought I did. I was like, you just murdered that shit. I was like, cool, man. So, yeah. That was fun, man.
Definitely check out Matto's verse in that song.
Yes, and shout out to Matto for definitely doing that track with the rig, and he was also in Cypher 4 with me, J-MoRR, and Psych. And Thanks was in there in that joint too. Yeah. Anything else you want to put on writing a song?
Keep writing.
Nice. Exhausted is the next song, which is the 9th track on the album.
Exhausted and I don't think I can carry on. Change your fucking station if you're searching for a merry song.
The funny thing is, there's a little input. I wrote a song called Rise for my new album, okay? It's like, we must rise. It was like a real cool like intro track until somebody came over and had the same beat. Yeah. So I had
the fifth.
But it was just, it's interesting that we actually picked the same beat out of a library.
Great minds think alike.
I thought that was pretty sweet. But Exhausted, man, and we had a lot of conflicting ordeals with the hook. I remember we couldn't figure out exactly what to do, and then we decided we're like, we're just gonna do it like this. I still didn't like it, you know what I mean? And we just kept digging with it. And then Jason Psych here, he was like, what do you think of this? And I think he nailed it. How I'm exhausted. You know what I mean? And it sounds a lot more clubbish. That was just a little input on that one.
I liked it when I wrote it, but it's amazing in my mind. But
no.
I think it turned out way better than I could have imagined it. Like,
it was definitely a great hook. You know what I mean? It was just that after the bugs were worked out, excellent fucking song.
After I heard it, after Jason got a hold of it, it was 1,000 times better than I could have imagined it or wrote it. So.
It's just, I always think you're good at your singing. I just don't think you do it enough. So, but we're gonna work on it on the next album. Yeah, there will be another one. Don't worry, there will be another record. Anything on Exhausted you want to talk about? This is definitely the last song that was recorded for the record.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was the last song.
I was feeling just sick and tired of some of the bullshit around me, man. Just exhausted.
I hear that.
Tired of dealing with it.
Definitely, definitely. We don't want to make this video fucking an hour long, so we're gonna move on to the last song, which is Stargazing.
Got the raven in his pocket, time at 8, 7, 6, 5 stars, cast a splatter, 2 shots to the sky.
Pictures painted in the stars like celestial scars, like the heart of a god, reaching down and touching ours, connecting the dots to the only face I see.
And definitely do not listen to the song after you've been drinking, I don't know, a 15 pack and here's like on a depressed mode and stuff, because I think I broke down a few times. Just sometimes you just gotta let it loose, man. I know all my buddies out there are gonna be like, you pussy, because I know it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But that's what good music does to you. It's supposed to bring out your emotions. And Stargazing is definitely an interesting song. And again, Jason was like, what do you think he meant by the song? And we want to know, what is Stargazing?
Stargazing is a song about the people in your life that die unexpectedly. In my particular case, it was my grandmother. She had brain cancer and ended up with a tumor in her brain and ended up passing away back in 2009. And I started thinking about all the people you see on the news that get shot, stabbed, kidnapped, what have you, diseases, and what it must feel like for those families to go through, because I know what it felt like to go through my grandmother's death,
right, and
having health problems in the family. But I wanted to make a song that really spoke to those people that have lost somebody and what that feels like.
And in my opinion, there was no better way to end the record than Stargazing. It was definitely a beautiful ending to this album. You know, it's a very emotional song, and just the hook itself is just so powerful. I just can't wait till people hear the record. I hate to sit there and boast anymore and make this guy's ego any bigger, but I really thought the record was incredible, especially for your first project. You know, usually most people's first project is something like, look at 419. We came out with Ohio. To me, I love the album, you know, but to anybody else, they listen to it and be like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? So I don't see that resentment 10 years down the road. You're still going to like this record. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're going to have a link in the bottom of the video so you can download the album. It's totally free, okay? Unless you want to donate to Rig Records, we'll give you a hard copy. And yeah, we're going to get on datpiff.com, Reverb. I'm gonna try to get hard copies into like CR Music, my boy Johnny Reed, and I don't know where else we're gonna put it. We're gonna try to put it everywhere we possibly can, though. I can tell you that much, you know. But you'll be able to download it immediately on DatPiff, and make sure that you comment. You know, don't just download it and run. Make sure you leave a comment and let us know what you think of the record. You know, because
even if you think I suck, just tell me.
Yeah, even if you think he blows, man, just say fuck him. You know, fuck J-MoRR. Yeah, I think that's about it.
I just want to say thank you, 419, to Sir Minds, to all of Rig Records. Thank you to the 419 music scene. Come check me out.
To the son of a buckeye tree, that my home is a place to be with my crew and a brew of 3. We got it on lock. Great Lakes backdrop rig keeps rolling with inertia that you can't stop. Taking on state at a reach of the very top 8 presidents for ruling over your block. Don't talk, not a word, not a sound. Don't you even come around on this holy ground laid under my town. I'm the king and I'm wearing a crown. I see knights at the table that's round. 4 counts of a war, more in store than was ever before. Fall as the heartland sword. Better me or you know the score, but we'll know you never more. Scarlet rain, gray skies, and the call of the storm is the Midwest. No bulletproof vests, we the best of the best, bearing proud chest to the slings and arrows of the minds are narrow in the big city streets.